So tomorrow we are heading out on our very first ever backpacking trip, and I'm feeling so wildly unprepared.
Literally never.
Good morning, guys. I definitely think we slept a little bit later than I was planning, but I did have a little bit of trouble falling asleep last night. I mean, it's been like over 4 years since we slept in a tent, and never in a tent this small. We tried to make sure Haley was comfy. She was so much more snuggly than she usually is, which was really nice. We are on a bit of a slant, so I noticed that I kept kind of sliding down to the bottom of the tent. But more than anything, I am feeling crunchy. My body is just really sore, and I'm just tired. But it's time to get up. I guess now we go check and see if the bears took all our food. Hi! Good morning! Y'all, we live to eat another day. Coffee.
I got cold drink.
Woo! This morning's coffee's looking a little different. It's like the last of our water that had a little bit of liquid IV left in it, and some Trader Joe's instant coffee in a water bottle. Good morning! You have to tell me how gross it is once you try it. Alright, and then on the menu for breakfast this morning, we were only able to buy one backpacking meal because I'm intolerant to garlic and onion. A lot of the other meals besides breakfast had all of those ingredients in them. So this will be my first time trying backpacking food, but this looks pretty good, so I have high hopes. And Haley's having her breakfast. It is a lot windier today than it was yesterday, so we're having a little bit of trouble getting our stove lit, so we've moved to kind of hopefully out of the wind as much as possible, but hopefully we can get breakfast going. So I definitely added way too much water to the oats, but it is what it is. Breakfast is served. I repacked my stuff from yesterday and moved my clothes to the bottom and our food and heavier stuff to the top. And we like ate a bunch of our food yesterday, so already feeling better today.
What is this? I feel like I'm in a giant potato sack.
What are those?
What are these?
Ready for day 2.
Ready, bud? We only got 4 miles today.
Oh, dog.
And less than a mile uphill. Woohoo! All right, we're starting with a little bit more uphill, saying goodbye to the lake. We are going to be passing 3 more today and camping at the last one. It's so cold today. It's gonna be nice, short, and sweet.
Open your eyes, it's a beautiful life. Take a step, arms out wide.
Starting to get a few drops of rain. Hopefully it's just a drizzle. Gosh, this hike just keeps getting prettier and prettier.
I can feel it in the air, it's like magic.
So I don't know if this is like 2 or 3, because they were kind of all right together, connected. But this one is much bigger than the one we stayed by last night. Wrapped up nice and quick today. It was definitely a much easier hiking day than yesterday. Kind of nice to break up our 2 longer days with a chiller short day. We found a really nice big wooded campsite, and we have a super beautiful view of the lake, just through the trees, but we're hoping being a little bit further off the water there won't be as many mosquitoes tonight. Lake is right there. I think I'm probably gonna put my hammock there. This is such a nice spot, and there's tons of camping in this area, and honestly this hike just gets better and better the further we go. I zonked out for a few hours. I came back and laid down and woke up and it had been a minute. But Haley's been being really anxious today. She just seems like really skeeved since we've been to this campsite. I finally got her to calm down in the tent with the cover on, so I'm wondering if maybe the wind is bothering her. But it's got me a little bit on edge, to be honest. Josh built us a little wind barrier so that we're able to cook on our stove tonight because the wind at this campsite is insane. So we're having instant sweet potatoes on tortillas with some chicken and taco seasoning. So hopefully that'll be good tonight. You excited, buddy? I'm hungry. Oh my gosh, wait, it's starting to actually look like sweet potatoes. Wild! This dinner's about to be so good, buddy. Okay.
Chicken, sweet potato.
So, we've got chicken with taco seasoning, our instant sweet taties. Mmm. Yeah, it does. And you got yourself a backpacking taco. For you? Just set it down. Haley's like, where's my taco, Mom? She didn't carry nothing. She don't deserve a taco.
It's really good.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Wow, I crushed a backpacking food for my first time.
You literally did. You nailed it.
You gonna help with the dishes? So we don't attract the bears? You gonna help with the dishes? It's Haley's best backpacking skill so far. The wind finally seems to be giving up a little bit, so we're gonna have a fire. We all look so cozy.
Come out the shield now.
I'm like literally the worst. Last night we had everything all hung up, and then we got back to camp and realized we hadn't put Haley's dog food in the bear bag, so Josh had to take everything down and completely rehang it, and I felt terrible.
Did you double check this time?
Yes, I did. Yeah, everything's in there this time. Oh no, there's some in my fanny pack. Some kibble in my fanny pack. I'll be right back. Good. I had just forgotten that I had this extra kibble in my fanny pack, and I forgot it last night, and we slept with this in our tent. Oh! Yeah, can't believe we slept with that in our tent last night. Sorry, I made you do it twice. It's a learning experience for me, I guess. So, essentially the green rope is attached to the tree over here with a carabiner on the end, and then the orange rope goes through the carabiner and it works as a pulley system to raise the bag up in the tree. And just like that, snacks are safe from the bears. Just caught Haley getting into some human poop, so just a reminder to not be a total jerk and bury your poop. I'm really tired of seeing it, and it's happening so often, and it's really not that freaking hard.
smiling?
Looks like Josh is cold enough that he's decided to make a morning fight. It was so much colder last night than our first night. It's about 7 a.m. now. We're trying to hit the trail by 9. Tragedy did strike yesterday. Josh's sleeping mat is popped already, so 0 out of 10. Recommend the Powerlix Outdoors inflatable sleeping mats, and we'll be returning them. Mine still works fine, but I just felt really bad last night. But good morning! It's our last day of hiking, and we are gonna finish our adventure with a trip to the local brewery when we get back, and I'm so excited. Sarah and Brandon have these types of mats. They don't inflate, they're just like squishy, and this is definitely what we will be upgrading to because ours suck. Yay, we still have food! 2 for 2. Thanks, honey. Ready for brekkie?
Yep.
I'm ready for brekkie.
Watch the ocean kiss the moon. Run away with
It's so pretty. We're finally headed downhill. We had a really steep incline right off the bat this morning, and I didn't know if I was gonna make it. This is gorgeous. Haley, you are so dirty. There was a lot more incline today than I was expecting. We've got 1 mile left, taking one last water break. The terrain today has also been a lot more rough than the other 2 days. It's been very overgrown. There was a few times where we had to bypass the trail for fallen trees. Yeah, overall I've just been struggling a lot more today than the past 2 days. But we're almost done and I'm really proud of myself. We did it! We did it! Woo! I barely made it, but I made it. Freaking
Well, like one at a time, and it doesn't have to be all of us. How do you do that?
Did I get everybody?
I think I'll go again.
What? What?
so clear. It's better than we planned it. This rising sun was meant for you and I. We see it now. The story comes together. Beauty lives in every chapter. We feel it.
Good morning, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with us on my very first backpacking trip. It's honestly one of the most fun weekends I've had in such a long time, and I definitely think I've found a new hobby. So I wanted to share with you guys some budget backpacking gear that we've now used and really love, and I'm highly recommending. Getting into backpacking can be really expensive. Outdoor gear in general is just kind of expensive sometimes, especially when you're investing in some good quality pieces. So I really wanted to try out some more budget-friendly options on Amazon. Because I think that it's really important that the outdoors are accessible to everyone, and some of us granola girls, including myself, are balling on a budget. The first item, and I think probably my favorite thing that we got for this trip, was our tent. It worked so well, super lightweight, very easy to set up and tear down, and I just think it's super cute. The colors are wonderful. I'm gonna have all of these products linked in the description box for you guys if you're interested. Sorry about any road noise. The RV park that we live at is kind of near a highway, so there's only so much I can do in that department, but I'm gonna link all of this gear in the description box below for you guys if you're interested in snagging any of these things for your own adventures. The next thing I want to talk about is our sleeping mat. The one that we went with for this trip turned out to be an absolute disaster. It popped on the first night that we used it, and I absolutely hated them. They did pack down really small, which was what drew me to them in the first place, but we went ahead and decided to exchange them for these mats instead. They're a little bit more bulky to carry and put in your pack, but just the peace of mind that they're not gonna pop when I'm out in the backcountry is really nice. And you can also sit by a campfire, stuff like that, and not have to worry about an ember popping your mat as well. So definitely recommend these. We snagged 2 and they were around the same price point, so I definitely recommend, especially if you have pets, to go the non-inflatable route with the sleeping mats. A couple of things that we didn't get for this trip that we decided that we needed after backpacking with Sarah and Brandon. They were much more prepared than we were. They have a lot more experience backpacking than we do. Mosquito nets for your face. They look entirely ridiculous, but wow, they were a lifesaver out in the backcountry. The mosquitoes in the summertime, especially in the evenings, are really bad and really swarmy, and if you're already tired and exhausted, that just can add to your irritability. So I ended up snagging one for both Josh and I, and Sarah let me borrow hers a few times while we were out in the backcountry, and 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Very cheap and amazing. We also invested in 2 sleeping bags for this trip. I really liked them. They were rated at a little bit less low of a temperature than I may go with in the future. They're rated for 55 degrees comfortably, and they worked really well for us in the summer. But as it gets later in the season, especially up at elevation, the temperatures are going to be a lot lower. So I wish I would have taken that into consideration and maybe gotten a sleeping bag that was rated for a little bit lower temperature. We have also, since our trip, went ahead and got a backpacking like cookware set. So it comes with a pot, bowls, spoons, all of those kind of things. That was just something that I didn't really think that we needed, but after lugging 2 wooden bowls and a regular kitchen pot out into the wilderness, I changed my mind. So I'll link the one that we got in the description box below, and I'll also link the little camping stove that we used on this trip. We absolutely loved it. It was perfect for us. Josh loves building campfires. I don't know that if I was backpacking on my own it would be the best option for me, but it was so much cheaper than a jet boil and we had a really good experience with it. But I do want to note, if you are in areas with a lot of fire danger or fire bans, this is not going to be a good option. So just make sure that you're aware of all of the restrictions in your area. I think that's all I've got for you guys today though, but we are heading out into the backcountry again soon, so if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more adventuring to do this summer before the snow sets in. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday.